I'm falling for you. I'm trying to breathe. I'm sinking underwater. I try to escape. I think I'm drowning. This feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to break. I'm trying to breathe. I'm sinking underwater. I try to escape. I think I'm drowning. This feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to break.
I'm trying to breathe, I'm sinking underwater. I try to escape. I think I'm drowning, this feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to break. I'm trying to breathe, I'm sinking underwater. I try to escape. I think I'm drowning, this feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to break. I'm trying to breathe, I'm sinking underwater. I'll try to escape. I think I'm drowning, this feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to break.
I'm trying to breathe, I'm sinking underwater. I'll try to escape. I think I'm drowning, this feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to break. I'm trying to breathe, I'm sinking underwater. I'll try to escape. I think I'm drowning, this feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to break.
I'm trying to breathe, I'm sinking underwater. I'll try to escape. I think I'm drowning, this feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to break. I'm trying to breathe, I'm sinking underwater. I'll try to escape. I think I'm drowning, this feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to
I'm trying to breathe, I'm sinking underwater. I'll try to escape. I think I'm drowning, this feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to I'm trying to breathe, I'm sinking underwater. I'll try to escape. I think I'm drowning, this feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to break. I'm trying to breathe, I'm sinking underwater. I'll try to escape. I think I'm drowning, this feeling gets stronger, and I'm not quite ready to
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you.
I had to try to break a habit. I changed my mind. Now I can have it. Make me feel alive. I've got nothing to hide. Would I go chasing after? I had myself to blame. I knew it meant disaster. My arms went
Okay, so good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Thank you for watching DevRel Asia 2020 interview sessions. I'm Atsushi, Chief Organizer of the conference. And in this time, I will introduce our awesome speakers and chat with them about their talk in 15 minutes. Today's guest is Karan MV at GitHub. So welcome, MV. Hi.
Hi, thanks for having me out here. It's great to be a part of DevRel Asia 2020.
Thank you so much for coming. So I will show the banners. And at first, please introduce yourself and y- your careers and what is your favorite technologies, what is your favorite books, movies, or pets, or anything about you.
Great. So first of all, hi everyone. I'm Karan, and I manage developer relations at GitHub. For India, and also work on some of the other global programs. So I've been here, at GitHub very recently. Prior to this, I was leading, a developer marketing function at a company called Automation Anywhere, along with a team of few other people. And prior to that, I've been, with companies like DigitalOcean, helping developer relations and communities, and a few other organizations before that as well. So I'm really very interested and passionate towards three things when it comes to some of the developer technologies. One is open source. I really like the ecosystem around open source, and believe that there's like a really huge opportunity for all of us developers to kind of grow the way that we work, as well as produce some awesome software. The second thing is cloud. And it's something that is kind of like really very close to me, because I've kind of seen how it has changed the way that businesses operate, the way that we write software, and the way that it's impacting people like around the world. So I'm really excited about what's going to come up in the space of the cloud moving forward in the next few years or so. And the third thing is DevOps. Really again very interested about this, because it fascinates me a lot in terms of how important operations and combining that with development, the whole concept of DevOps can be. um, and just how interesting it is to really build around the practice, the culture, the tooling, and everything that would really make such a huge difference to shipping quality software. So these are the three things. And I'm somewhat of a language slash framework agnostic when it comes to what I use. I'm not really stuck on any one. I'm comfortable with Python, or JavaScript, or whatever else might be required for a specific solution. But at heart, I'm a full stack developer. So um and in when I'm not doing anything around DevRel or communities or other things, I'm really interested, and have a liking, or almost like a hobby towards acting, and towards anchoring events, and then also a little bit of filmmaking, which I'm just trying to catch up on. And also reading a lot of books. So great that Sushi asked me about books, because I like to read books of various different genres, be it business, be it self improvement, be it even screenplays. I actually have quite many books of screenplays of various different movies, just trying to understand how it works and what goes on in the mind of a screenwriter or a director while they're kind of writing a movie. And I have a pretty small collection of like 100 books or so that I've read over time. And call me old school, but I'll still like reading books in the physical form. They're much more comfortable, and I like to kind of like collect it as well. So that's a little bit about me.
Okay, thank you. So can I ask you something so about you? So
Sure.
what kind of community is more active in India, like DevOps, open source, and you're talking about the cloud technologies. So what type
Right.
of community is active?
Right. So it's a very growing and a very active community ecosystem out here in
Mm,
India, and it's really very fascinating, because you think of any specific brand,
Mm,
technology, or an interest group, you can find a community for that here in India. So
mm,
even with the broad area of, if you're talking of cloud, you can find
mm,
communities for not just all the different cloud platforms that are out there, but also you
mm,
can find communities for various types of interest groups within the cloud, and various different concepts. For example, I know there are communities which which are very much focused, small niche communities specifically interested on hybrid cloud and things like that. So
mm,
so it's that thing is like really very fascinating, and how people are very much involved in community activities,
mm,
and that's one of the ways how all of us developers, as well as DevRel professionals, get to meet various different community members. Even
mm,
when it comes to open source, there are so many different projects that have been built out of India, and then kind of grown to much larger scales that's
mm,
being used. um, One of them that comes to the top of my mind is a project called Hopscotch, which is what just one person who was really finding a problem with some of the existing tool sets
mm,
went on and created and started building more interest and getting more contributors, etc. There are a few projects that have gone on to become CNCF projects, etc. Even when it comes to DevOps,
mm,
it's very, very surprising how uh, the communities for DevOps are pretty mature out here in India.
mm,
And especially in some places, there are many contributors to projects like Kubernetes or so, etc., who are kind of helping others, and then gain
mm,
more understanding of all of these newer technologies and tools and practices, etc.
mm,
And the interesting part is you can find communities even in smaller tier 2,
mm,
tier 3 cities, towns, universities as well.
mm. I see. So please give me ideas how to find out the India communities online, like find out on Slack or Discord or Facebook, or I have no ideas about that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great thing, especially because one of the attitudes and the mentalities of communities out here in India is
Mm,
they're very open to experimentation. So
mm,
and where a community interacts and engages is one of them.
mm,
So if you look at it, you can find communities on platforms like Meetup, which has a few hundred or even tens of thousands of members. Similarly, you can find communities on Facebook as well, which are much larger, which probably
mm,
has 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 members as well. You can find communities interacting and talking to each other on WhatsApp groups, Telegram groups, through
mm.
IRC, through mailing lists, through Discord, on GitHub and various places. So it's like how I said, it's very interesting because many of the communities uh, are experimenting what really works best for their community, and how interaction makes it easier, etc. So literally, you think of any of the larger platform,
Mm.
there is probably communities which are interacting and growing, and then engaging on that platform.
I see. Okay, so we will move to the next topic about your talk. So your talk title is very interesting, The Days of DevRel, Measuring Value of the DevRel Programs. So please give me your talk abstracts or summary, please.
Yes. So I'm not gonna tell what is the D's, in the topic. For that, you have to tune into the session. But what I'm gonna tell you about is that measuring the value of DevRel programs, is something that's very, very important. Now, if you think about all of us, DevRel professionals, most often, we are working on some really great programs, and then, working on making it much larger, more impactful, etc. But how do you really measure the value of this? What is, how is it helping? Whom is it helping? And what are probably some of the metrics or indicators that you can probably look for, and based on my experience, what has really helped? And there are multiple dimensions to this, and multiple lenses to evaluate some of this, when you're looking at what value really means. So in my talk, what I'll be talking about is what are some of these dimensions, when you're looking at how do you measure the value, and also what are some of the considerations or probable metrics that you can look at for helping grow your programs, because all of us are limited by time, effort, as well as budgets, right? So we need to optimize many of our programs, either existing or newer ones, in order to balance these, what is called as the golden triangle of time, cost, and schedule. Sorry, effort, right? And so that's something that I'll be talking about in my session. And But if you're curious, what are the D's over there? You have to tune into the session.
I see. It's a very interesting stories because some of startup company want to try to the developer relations, but they got their investigate. Sorry. They got the that's investments. So some of type of stockholders cannot understand what is a DevRel. So, and they don't know value of developer relations. So they want to stop the developer relations for budget, right? Yes, it's very interesting. So, what is the problem? Why they don't understand what is a developer relations?
Right. That's a great question, and I have similarly come across various different startups, or even teams within larger companies, wherein they want to have DevRel as a function, DevRel programs, and DevRel professionals help, but many of them don't think about what needs to go into a DevRel program or a function, the people, the process, the budget, etc. And also, how do you justify either the people or the time or the cost or the effort that's being put into DevRel programs, and largely, my personal opinion is that there needs to be probably more awareness, and it's great that there are forums like this that's coming up, like DevRel Asia, where we are talking about some of these issues, and helping others understand as to what really are DevRel programs, and what is developer relations as a function, and also some of the key things, like how is developer relations different from developer marketing, from say solutions engineering, so there is quite some misunderstanding between these various different roles as well. There are organizations which are very well established when it comes to DevRel functions, but there are again startups, and like how I said, larger companies which are just getting started with DevRel as a function. So it's essentially how I like to describe it to many people as it's a little bit of everything. What a DevRel professional would have to do. It would be a little bit of engineering. It would be a little bit of managing relations with people. It would be about a little bit about things like events and marketing. It's a little bit about the success, etc. But one thing that's common for everyone, I feel, in our DevRel profession is that we are all focused towards a single audience, which are developers. So that's the common thread. And the way that I like to see it is, irrespective of what your title says, we are always kind of focused towards that as an audience, and um, need to look at how you craft programs for that audience and measure value
Mm,
with that audience in mind.
I see. Currently, we have 10% of participants is executive or managers right now. So I hope every executive or managers have to listen your talk and they get the knowledge of what is a DevRel and why they do that.
Absolutely, so some of the things that I'll be sharing in my talk will be again based on some of my experiences of how I've been able to measure the value of the programs, and then also help show that, and also help kind of illustrate that among various different dimensions, which kind of helps all the stakeholders, because there is a very clear cut way, or like an industry standard, or probably a de facto way of measuring value for various different programs in engineering or product or in sales or marketing or people relation functions, etc. These are all something that many of them know and practice as well. But when you speak of DevRel, since it's specific to an audience and a little bit of various different functions, measuring that
Mm,
value is something which becomes very, very important.
mm. I see. Okay, thank you, Karans. You have great careers and knowledge of developer relations. And again, I strongly recommend every executive and managers should listen your talk. So, and Karans, I hope you also will enjoy our conference, DevRel Asia 2020. Okay, so thank you, Karan.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot. And definitely, looking forward to the conference as well as the interaction with all of the attendees. So if there are specific things that you would want to hear about or listen about, etc., I believe there are official conference channels where you can tune in as well. So
Oh,
thank you, Itsushi, for having me once
yes,
again, and see you all soon again during the conference.
yes. See you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And so, and in this time, our interview is done. Our conference, Debra Asia 2020, will be held on the this Saturday, November 14th. Everyone's please save the dates and waiting the day. Okay. So see you next interview. Bye.